Hello, welcome. This is Destiny's Miss Freeman's pre-calculus class. The topic and lesson of this class is finding composite functions. So over here, we have four types of composite functions. You have f times f, g times g, f times g, and g times g. Now, when you first start out composite function, it may seem a little bit confusing, but once you get the hang of it, it's really easy. You'll be able to do these problems in a matter of seconds. Okay, so we have a problem. It says, for the given functions f and g, find, so this is a. They want us to find a. We have f times g. Okay, so if you look, and you look over here, we can see that out of all these composite functions, we have f times g. Okay? That's one thing that you need to notice. We have f times g. Okay? What you do first, and we also have to write down, so f of x equals to 2x, and g of x equals to 3x squared plus 1. Okay, so now we wrote down the problem. That's the first step. Write down the problem and figure out which composite function that you actually have. Okay, now what you need to do for the second step is to look at the second variable. Always, if you have f times g, start with g. If you have f times f, start with f. If you have g times g, start with g. G times f, start with f. You get the pattern. You start with the second variable. So you always start with the second. So because g is the second variable, f times g, you're going to start with g. You're going to go down here and look at the formula or equation for g of x. Since we're starting with g, we're going to start with g of x, which is 3x squared plus 1. What we're going to do is we're going to substitute x with 4. Okay? So we're going to use g of x. So we have 3x squared plus 1. Instead of 3x squared, we're going to have 3 times 4 squared plus 1. Okay? Now, this equation gives us 49. All right? That gives us 49. What we're going to do next is now, after we finish with g, we're going to go and move on to f. You start with g, then you go in with f. You start with the second variable, then you go back to the first variable. So, f of x, we had f of x, right? Now, instead of f of x, we're going to have f, you see, 49. And we're going to use the formula for f, because now we're on f. We're going to use this equation for f. So we have f of x equals 2x. Now we have f 49 equals 2, and we're going to substitute the new, what we got from g, we just got an answer from g. We got 49 using this formula from g. So we're going to use what we got, and we're going to substitute what we got in the formula for f. So now, instead of 2x, we're going to have 2 times 49. This gives you 98. And this right here is your answer, okay? This is your answer right here. So this is how you find a composite function, okay? First, you got to find out which composite function you have. If you have f times g, which we had, okay? And you look at this number. This number is what you'll start off with. You start off with the second variable and you use this number. So, for example, we have f times g, okay? We're going to use g. We're going to look for the equation for g, which is g of x equals 3x squared plus 1. We're going to take this number and substitute x for 4. Now we have 3 times 4 squared plus 1. Multiply and add that together, you get 49. You use this number right here. You use this number to substitute x in f's formula. After you move from the second digit, you move to the first one. Second variable, you move to the first variable. Now, instead of f of x equals 2x, you have f of 49 equals 2 times 49. That gives you 98. This is your answer right here. This is your answer. So this is how you find composite functions, okay? Remember those steps, all right? Thank you. Goodbye.